here's something I figured I could talk about for a brief moment. When you have, there's a sound that you like. In my case, that would be the sound of the Lydian mode, right? It's thick. Find all the different places that you can use that, right? It's not only if you have like a Lydian triad or like a major 7 with a sharp 11, right? Those aren't the only times that you can use it. You can find it within a mode, all right? So I guess we'll call this modes within modes. For example, the Lydian sound. I guess we'll take a look at Lydian within the Dorian mode, right? So let's say we have a tune by Led Zeppelin. You know. Halftime feeling. E to the D is kind of what we'll stick with. So let's call it an E, E5. I don't think it has a third in it. You can feel it in major, going to D major. So I guess the first one actually is not going to be Lydian within Dorian. It's going to be Lydian within Mixolydian, right? So yeah. So back to that E major, we'll say. The D major. Say like E Mixolydian over that, obviously. You play all your bebop stuff over it. But what we're looking for is how to find the Lydian mode, all right? So here's what you do. Mixolydian is the 5th mode of the major scale, meaning that E Mixolydian, E is the 5th of the A major scale, meaning that E Mixolydian is the same as A major. Right? But, you know. And so, what is the relative Lydian to that A major? Well, the 4th note of the A major scale is D. Therefore, A major is the same as E Mixolydian, but A major is D Lydian. So, when you're playing this, we have, you can always do this in the Mixolydian mode, by the way. So let's think of it this way. You're thinking in E, and you're thinking E Mixolydian. The Lydian mode within the Mixolydian mode is the flat 7. What I mean by that is this. Want to play Lydian? It's on the D. opposed to this stagnant E minor sort of sounding thing. Now, there's all sorts of options over this. You can play the Dorian mode. Play natural minor. You could play harmonic minor. You know, 5/7 chord has a flat 9 in it when you use harmonic minor, because the harmony comes from the harmonic minor, right? Anyway, so use the Dorian mode over this. Say you're using Dorian. You can find the relative Lydian mode to this, the same way as you would find the relative Lydian mode to any Mixolydian, right? So we said Mixolydian, E Mixolydian is relative to this major scale, and because now we have the major scale, we can find the relative Lydian, right? And we found that the Lydian mode within the Mixolydian mode is the flat 7. E Mixolydian, you have D Lydian, and that's where that sound can come from. Now, the other thing is, right now we're about to find Lydian within Dorian, okay? So let's break that down. We have E minor, so we're using E Dorian. Let's figure this out. So E Dorian, Dorian is the second mode of the major scale. E is the second note of the D major scale, right? So E Dorian is the same as D major. Now, the Lydian mode is the fourth mode. So we have D major. Now let's find the Lydian to that. So remember, it's the fourth mode. The fourth note of the D major scale is G. Therefore, G Lydian is the same as D major, which is the same as E Dorian. Right? So, in the Dorian mode, the Lydian mode within the Dorian mode is the flat third. Meaning when you have E Dorian, it's the same as G Lydian, right? And so now, let's say we're using E Aeolian, E natural minor with the C natural instead of the C sharp, right? You get the idea. So, natural minor scale is just pure minor, right? Now remember, there's a tiny misconception that outside of the classical world, for some reason, if someone says minor, everybody thinks it's just Dorian, and that's not, well, not everybody, but there's a select few individuals. That's not what it is, right? E minor is the same when you're playing Led Zeppelin as it is when you're playing Bach, okay? It's the same. E minor is always the same relative minor to G major, okay? Now, so any good musician knows that the relative minor to E minor, relative major to E minor is G major, right? So we have G major scale. We're going to find the Lydian mode within the Aeolian mode now, right? So E minor, same as G major. Fourth note of G major is C. So the Lydian mode, the relative Lydian to G major is C Lydian, right? Which means that the relative Lydian in E Aeolian is C Lydian. So what we have now is that the relative Lydian to mixed Lydian is the flat 7. The relative Lydian to Dorian is the flat 3rd. And lastly, what we just broke down more quickly so than the others is that the relative Lydian mode to the Aeolian mode is the flat 6, right? So if you're in E Aeolian, it's C Lydian. Back to Dorian now because we put a C sharp in. So you get the idea. I guess the way you would break this down in final is, say you like the sound of a specific mode. You would find the major scale to which it is relative, and then find the Lydian mode that's relative to that scale, and then find out that relationship to your original starting mode, and then you would... That's how you would know it. Like we said, I like the Lydian sound, because I do, because it's tasty to me. And I wanted to find out how I could play Lydian while staying within the key signature of E Dorian. So I said E Dorian, same as D major. The relative Lydian to D major is G Lydian. So that's how you figure it out. So it's kind of a long video, but you know, maybe that's something you can screw around with. Is just playing modes within modes, we'll call it, right? Sound of Lydian, but you're still playing in E minor, whether it's Dorian or Aeolian. Anyway, that's enough rambling from me. So now, go ahead and take that and play with it.